So my dude's Valk here, and today I want to talk about how I've been basically messing around with a lot of artifacts, and I have finalized a lot of builds. I got pretty lucky on some artifacts, so I've been able to fit in a lot of flex pieces, and I've basically finalized my Xiao build. It's done essentially. My Eula build's virtually done, and I think these are some of the craziest builds you guys probably will see. You'll see them again whenever I do my 1-year review of my entire account, where I showcase all my artifacts, everything I've done over a year. I'm waiting till it's actually been a year to do it, but I want to showcase them today because I'm really proud of these builds, and it's taken me a very long time to get to this point. So I want to showcase them for you guys. So the very first unit I'm going to showcase build-wise is actually Xiao. So if you guys don't know, Xiao is literally who I owe my channel success to. Xiao is the character that started everything for me, and because of that, he's my baby boy. We really got to bring him into the party to show his attack, because Staff of Homa doesn't really activate until you're inside the party. So let's go ahead, bring the baby boy on in. We'll bring in Eula because we're going to showcase Eula as well today. I'm blind, yes.
You called?
I'm very blind. Yeah, I did call Xiao. So with Homa active, we can see he's at 2400 attack stat base. He has 40 EM. Not ideal to have some EM on him, but I mean, a little bit of swirl never hurt anybody. But then we get into his stats. You can see he is at 73% crit rate, 260 crit damage, 125 ER, and 46.6% animal damage bonus. I have him on 2-piece Shimenawa, 2-piece Gladiators. He has a R1 Staff of Homa, and then the artifacts themselves are very, very good. That's a 17% crit rate. This is what opened up a lot of possibilities for me. Swapping over the Shimenawa Goblet allowed me to go ahead and run 2-piece, and swap out the Viridescent Veneer, the 2-piece Viridescent, from the 15% animal damage bonus. Now, I want to make this clear if you guys don't understand why this is virtually the exact same thing as far as Viridescent Veneer, C6 Triple Crown. So, if you guys don't understand how damage works in this game, it's essentially normal attack. You see this 109% that he gets, and then you also add in this 25% that he gets. All this adds together and is an additive bonus along with animal damage bonus. So even though you take off that 15% animal damage, it's not that big of a deal. It is a big deal, but it's not at the same time, because it's still a very, very good thing. It's still very strong. You're not really losing that much. So instead, opting into an attack heavy build with crit damage and having that extra multiplier, especially having stats like this, is actually super cracked, and it allows me to just be kind of crazy with it. So the next unit I want to showcase off is my Eula. I recently kind of finalized this build. I don't really see it getting much better. So we're at 2500 attack. I have an R5 Cheeto that I got from summoning for an R5 Engulfing Lightning. I have it, I might as well use it. If I get it max stacks, I end up somewhere around 3100 attack, somewhere around there with the shield on. So it's a very powerful weapon with refinement, like any 5-star. And basically it kind of completed my Eula build, because now she has enough attack. She has 70% crit rate, 186 crit damage with having an attack percent weapon. And then I go down, she has 108 fizz damage bonus. If I add in her Constellation 1, the fizz damage increase to 138. It's very, very powerful. And then we go through her artifacts. You can see artifacts are super stonked out just as well. Pretty much every artifact is crazy, crazy good, just like most of my units, because that's what I want. For here, I was mostly trying to capitalize on the fact that she has really, really high crit damage already. The ER really is a non-factor for me. I could add a little bit more ER, but I mean, it's not an issue anymore with Raiden on the team. Raiden kind of takes care of the issues, and Raiden's basically attached to Eula's hip at this point, and with Xiao, he doesn't need ER because he has Jean as a battery. So that's my Eula. I'll be doing showcases of them in a second so you can see how hard they hit raw. I'm not going to really pair them with any supports or anything like that. I'm not going to pair them with anybody other than Zhongli, so you guys can get a good test. But then my Raiden Shogun, I've been messing around with this build quite a bit. I moved around some artifacts. I haven't really gotten any upgrades since I last showcased her, but I've been moving around artifacts, and I've been able to get to this ratio, 46.2 and 183. All I'm really waiting for is a flower or a feather that gives me a decent amount of crit rate, so I can balance out the build, get somewhere to around 55% crit rate. Because right now I'm getting virtually no crit rate from my flower and feather. So I'll showcase my riding again if you guys are curious. 225, add 50 to Engulfing Lightning. With Engulfing Lightning, I end up around 2800 attack with this build. So then I'm really around 275 energy recharge. It's a little on the lower side, but that's fine. With Engulfing Lightning, this kicks up to about 114, I believe. And with Kazuha, that goes up to 154. It's pretty good. And she looked mad whenever you do that, huh? But you can see this is R5. I go through the artifacts. It's a little different than last time I showed. There is some stuff moved around. I had these, but I was wanting to get like perfect artifact rolls, but I said screw it. Let's go for ratios instead. And you guys can see the crit rate on these two pieces is very low, and that's what's holding this build back currently. But the second I get this fixed and I get a little bit less crit rate, or a little bit less crit damage, a little more crit rate, and I can get that 60-160 ratio I've been aiming for since I started my Raiden Shogun build. I've been aiming for 60-160 290 ER since the beginning. I'll be somewhere around there finally. She's C6. She's going to be triple crown. Next week I'm going to upgrade the normal attack by 2 levels. And then the week after that, I'll slowly start getting these 2 crowned. So that's what's going to happen next week. So those are my 3 best built units. So we're going to run a domain really quick. I'm going to run this and let you guys see exactly how much Xiao hits with the animo damage bonus that he does. It's somewhere, it's not anything crazy. It obviously gets higher the higher his attack gets. But because I don't run Bennett or Sara, it's pretty rough for me to actually buff his attack up. So, because he has so much scaling damage, you would want the attack to match that, and I don't really buff his attack at all. So he ends up not doing as well as he could if I had higher attack, but once more units come out, maybe one that I like a bit more, that is an attack buffer, then I'll probably do it then. So if we jump all the way up, we plunge, we got a crit first, I guess. You can see 48k, 48k. Like I said, it's nothing crazy until you get into higher attack, because then once you meet the attack to actually scale, you can see the crazy damage. So we go ahead and we do that. We can see now his attack is actually at 2600 because that thief knocked us below the threshold, so now we actually deal with very big PP damage. So then we're going to go over to this domain, and I'm going to showcase Eula against the Geo Bishops. I know the Geo Bishops have good Fizz res, so it's going to be somewhere much more of a realistic look. I didn't want to showcase in the other domain because the other domain gives you 75% bonus Fizz damage against the enemies. The Viridescent Very Near domain does, so it's not really a realistic look. It's not a good take. So we're just going to do this. We're going to pop again, and then we're going to start doing this. You can see the crazy damage on the normals. That's due to the shield. And 609k on the ult, partially due to C6. The other part is due to how crazy the artifacts are and how crazy their builds are. So that's essentially the video. I showcased my Raiden one-shotting Teyvat a couple of videos ago. If you guys are curious, it's virtually the same build. There's not much change. She's got a bit more crit damage with the build I have on right now. A little bit better crit rate, but it's essentially the exact same build. So yeah, I think these are probably some of the craziest units you will ever see in this game, all in one video. I've had really good artifact luck over the past year playing the game. I've been able to get some really great artifacts. I've also been very persistent. I farm artifacts probably more than anybody because it's literally one of the things I enjoy about the game. If I show you the amount of units I get built, you'll see I barely build anybody. I have very selective building. I don't really do that much actual unit building. I summon very selectively. I don't exactly summon for everybody, but you can see level 90 and where it stops is the units that aren't built. So yeah, that's basically my 3 best built units between Xiao, Eula, and Raiden. I think Xiao and Eula are done. I don't think they're going to advance a little bit more. Maybe Eula can break 200 crit rate once I get a really good flower as a flex piece. But other than that, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching as always. Hopefully you guys enjoyed these 3 crazy units. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.